bag, gotta chase the bag. Ain't no need to lay.
What's up? What's going on? Oh, sure. I didn't realize I had another tab open. What it is, welcome to Lunchtime in the Lab. AFC, NFC Championship. Super stoked to have some football. I feel like NBA broke me a little bit yesterday. So we move on. We move on. I see got some people joining here. Do me a favor and make sure you like the video. Please like the video first. Subscribe to the channel here second so you can ask some questions. I broke down, I got a lot of information on this game, I feel like, so I can answer a bunch of questions. Thirdly, if you wouldn't mind, please do me a favor and, you know, if you came off of Twitter, do me a favor, retweet that video, tweet for me, share it, tell your friends, everything like that, trying to grow and everything and continue to do well with the show here. 231 subscribers, fantastic. I'm not sure how long I've been doing this, maybe a month, maybe less, so I feel like we're doing pretty good. Next goal up is certainly to be at 500. I see 17 people watching here, so please make sure you subscribe to me, please. And like I said, if you're coming off of Twitter, do me a favor and retweet this for me if you would. It certainly helps me out here because I bet you would agree that I would deserve the success, right? Nothing but love from you guys, or for you guys, or something. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Get my notes here though. About got it ready. Just me and the boy home, so I got the door open. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't come visit and say hi. It's all good. I will say too, what's up, man? Can you ask me something? As long as it's not weird. Hopefully the laptop doesn't go weird on me again. Like I said, it's been doing this blue screen thing on me like once a day or like once every couple days, and sometimes it doesn't do it for like a week. I need to try to take a picture of it. I was told next time around, and a picture of it next time around, and that way I figure out what it is, and some of y'all can help me out. Some of you guys reached out. I appreciate that, so hopefully it doesn't happen again though. That would suck. Let's see, I got my notes pulled up. What made me leave Parlay Bandits? Whew, that's a dangerous question. I'm not trying to fight. I'm not trying to cause any fights. Wasn't ready to answer that one, huh? I mean, you're good. No, I would say, Tyler, appreciate it. No, I'm super happy where I'm at. Like these guys, Sport and Ty, Chief knew him back in the day, and there were some issues in the Discord back in March, and those guys bounced at that issue, and I stayed loyal. The day that I, thought about leaving, I had reached out and text, I'm not going to say his name, never responded to me. Another person I reached out in the Discord, I reached out to them too, never responded to me. An hour goes by, so I bounced. Disrespect, I feel like. My style wasn't appreciated, and the guys in the Beer Money picks here were very, very happy to have me, and I did not have that feeling at my old home. And my new home is fantastic in that regards. Appreciate you. What's up, Jason? My parents have COVID. No, you're good. They're not. Okay. Let's go, though. We'll get going here. Like I said, I'm going to pull up the notes here. Been killing it. The podcast has been doing great. I need to just start giving the podcast plays in the Discord. Because I feel like somebody had messaged me before, and it's like, oh, like, are you stretching yourself thin or too many plays or something? It's like, I don't know. So I kind of started doing some of that. But the NBA is just absolutely pissing me off. Like, LaMelo Ball didn't play yesterday. I mean, we'll talk about it. And it screwed up, Brandon Miller. The Celtics losing, actually, that was a nail in the coffin. I'm not going to lie. Like, I put a fat amount of money on that little parlay that I gave out. I was just building something for myself. like just trying to boost like the bankroll, and like the Celtics 20-1 at home, and they just got like whooped. Clippers on a back to back. Like some of the stuff that's been happening is super frustrating, and we have to be really careful too. Like the NBA, what's it called? All-Star break is coming up on like February 12th or 14th, Valentine's Day maybe, something along those lines, and the NBA normally goes to shit then, like those last 3 or 4 games before that. So like we not even say that it's really good. I feel like the only games I really have interest in like trying to bet are going to be like close games. I'm still going to do NBA on the podcast, but like I'm going to transition to some college basketball, I think. I don't know. I just need to get out of January. Like the move over to the new Discord, I feel like I've certainly not been myself, and the people that's in Beer Money I think would probably agree to that. 12 straight winning months, going back to last year, and it's probably going to end this month. But that's good, though, I think. To start a new streak, it will be nice, So we'll get going, though, here. I know some of you guys are here to listen, get the plays, not just hear me talk. 4 quarterbacks to throw a touchdown like last Sunday. It's on my list. I think it's like minus 120, so 1.5 unit on that's probably not too bad. 50% live boost on the games on FanDuel. I've seen that, Jason. Last week we did it to where, right when the game started, we had a builder. Right when the game started, you can take a minus 150 builder and turn it into even money for 1 unit. I think we're probably I'm going to try to run that again for the first game. All right, here we go, though. I'm going to start recording this and start talking about the plays. I try not to interact too much with the chat when I'm doing the podcast part, although I'm going to be honest with you, like Spotify and stuff like that, it's just they've not been getting hardly any views. It started as a podcast audio, and then it turns into, doing these videos, and I certainly prefer that more, but I'm still recording as like, why not have it in multiple places? But my views are way, way, way down. But I'm still going to do it here anyway. I'll still probably interact. I just got the notification for Pony Up, too. I'm going to talk about it here at least one more time. All right, here we go, though. I can hear my son crying about his TV show. What's up, and welcome to Lunchtime in the Lab, your number one gambling podcast for quick picks, now live on YouTube as well. Brought to you by Pony Up. I've talked to it a few times. I got a link in the description on YouTube here, link wherever you are listening to your podcast as well. And, on my Twitter, my link tree. Free iOS. It's only on Apple. Free app. If you haven't downloaded it yet, please do me a favor. I'm not going to lie. I get a little $5 or so every time you sign up. But it's really cool. You get to turn this currency, this fake currency, into real prizes. You can wager up to like 300 coins or something like that. It's money line spreads and totals, no props. Cool guy that runs it. I mean, I could text him right now, the owner of the app / company or whatever, trying to get it off the ground for him, trying to help him out. So if you're interested, download the app. If you're not interested, just download the app just to kind of help, get those numbers up. But I think it's pretty neat. Kind of scratches that itch when you want to bet and maybe not risk a bunch, and then you're grinding to get an Amazon gift card or Fanatics gift card, or you're trying to get the new Madden or something like that, So all that stuff is in the, that reward center, kind of like Dave & Buster's, But Dave & Buster's costs that real money. Anyhow, today is Sunday, 128. Before we get into today's plays, take a look back, as always, see what we did yesterday. Unfortunately, we don't have an NFL recap. Monday is going to be one of my second to last NFL recap, and boy, that's really sad. Luckily, we have the United Football League or something like that coming up. Man, I don't care. I'll bet on. I like to bet on actually Canadian football too. If there's football, I'm certainly a fan of it. I told you my son was gonna come visit. What's up, buddy? Yeah. Oh yeah, cool. Go watch your show. Yesterday we had. You see Dad on TV? Yesterday we had Brandon Miller points and rebounds over 20.5. Hey, go watch your show. I'll go get you in a second. LaMelo Ball being ruled out at the end. I mean, that really messed that up. Obviously that's the downside of having these plays out super early. It was a blowout the entire game. He actually ended up getting a ton of minutes, but then he kind of became, the primary focus of LaMelo Ball. He didn't rebound worth a damn. whatever. I mean, it's just bad play, to be honest. Colin Sexton over 18.5. He had 24. I think he may have even hit this first half, if not very early third quarter. So that was an easy cash. And then Joe Val over 11.5. He was benched at halftime, and I don't know if like that's like a Pelicans thing, because I was looking at like the underdog notification and people were like, they did that last week or something like that. So I don't know if that's a regular thing. I mean, I can't quite honestly pay attention to every single game, but anyhow, he got 13 points. He cashed. Centers against the Bucks are continuing to do, what I hoped out of him, at least, So we go 2-1 yesterday. Again, I think I'm like 18-9 or something. I mean, generally we're going 2-1. Every once in a while I have the 0-3 day, but we've been awfully profitable here. I don't have it pulled up in front of me, but I mean we're nearly 10 units or so for the podcast here. So if you're hopping in and getting some free plays and making some money, off of me, like I said, continue to try to retweet when you can off of Twitter. That's the hub that I use everything off of. Share the video, like it, interact with it, everything like that. I'm sure, is super beneficial. But let's go. Before we go, though, I see it looks like we got 35 people in here. So on the weekends, I always got a bunch of people. I mean, I'm excited to see that one day where we have like 100 people in here. But I know like in the middle of the day, like people work and stuff like that. So it's probably not going to happen. But there's 35 people in here. Please, if you have not subscribed, do that for me. I know obviously you have to have a YouTube account. If you don't have one, you don't want to make one. I mean, it's whatever. I understand. But if you have a YouTube account, you can subscribe. You can turn notifications on. So every single time I go live, boom, pops up on your phone. You can just click on it, listen to it, bang, bing, bang, boom. And then obviously I have the subscriber only chat on. Hey, I'm selfish. I'm sorry. Trying to boost the subscribers up allows you to talk in there. So do me a favor, subscribe. Do me a favor and like it. Let's get into it. Spotify people, real quick. Audio people, what is it? Apple, iHeart, Amazon, all that. If you're listening on there, hey, there's a visual side of it. Honestly, I think it's better. We get to talk beforehand. We talk afterwards, back and forth, So, hey, we're up to 48. It just boosted like 10 in a matter of however long that was. So, but all right, let's hop into her here, huh? Sorry, somebody asked how to join the Discord, and it's like, boom, I can help you with that. First play, probably the most popular play today. I'll tell you what, guys, like there's like a dozen plays that I like. Oh, and somebody messaged said I get on too many tangents. Like, you guys should stop watching, But I had the designer make up 2 cheat sheets. I got a cheat sheet for both game. Ooh, I mean, first off, the graphics are fantastic. Somebody asked why I left the old group. I wasn't allowed to use my color schemes. It had to be theirs. Nope. Got my logo on it. Got my little piggy on it and everything like that. Each cheat sheet has 5 best bet props on the 2 games coming up here. And guess what? I parlay it every time. I've hit them before. So make sure you follow me on Twitter at LiveJoeBets to take a look at those. Very usually sought after. People are pretty normally into those. So those are made, and I'm going to have those posted probably around noon or so. I got to try to figure out like a little bit of a posting schedule or something like that. But anyway, here we go. Let's ride with Taylor Swift. Travis Kelce. I was going to go off on a tangent again. I'm not going to. He's now over this in 11 straight playoff games with 71 yards being his floor within that time frame. He had 75 against the Bills and 71 against the Dolphins this year. Quickly to rapid fire. 75, 71, 81, 78, 98, 95, 96, 108, 133, 118, 109 in that time frame. So, obviously, we go back a couple years. Him and Mahomes killing it. He wasn't having drop issues or anything like that. Although, last game, I don't know if he had any big drops. Dolphins definitely had some drops. He's being pretty sure-handed. So, we're going to ride with Kelce. Guess what? Kelce against the Ravens has played 5 times in his career. He has 33 catches, 435 yards, and has scored 2 touchdowns in 5 games against them. His yardage in those 5 games, 73, 77, 89, 87, and 109. That goes back to 2015, so obviously that was quite a while ago. You forget that Kelce's been around for a while. The man really could retire. Anyhow, he is over this in 11 straight playoff games, and he's over this in 5 of his 5 games against the Ravens. I talk about it quite often. There's multiple ways to bet. I am betting the trend of playoff Kelsey and his history against the Ravens here, going 5 for 5. Not to mention that this is Mahomes' worst receiving group that he's had all year. Rashee Rice is a solid guy, good yard after catch type guy. There is word that if you look at, I use NFLweather.com all year, it updates and everything like that. And it says at kickoff, it says there's a chance of rain showers, gusts of 19 miles an hour, and then the wind goes down. It doesn't give me 42% chance of rain. I think I had read, chance of rain showers before 7 p.m., then rain likely and patchy fog, cloudy with a low of 36, north wind 10 to 16, gusts of 26, chance of precipitation 60%, new rainfall amounts less than 1/10 of an inch. That's pretty small, obviously. So it's not going to be like super rainy like the, what the hell game was that? Green Bay and the 49ers. But talking about a little bit of rain, Kelsey obviously could be a good look as a sure-handed, short yardage type target, My son forgot his drink. Had to run in and get it. So we're going to roll with Kelsey over 61.5 for the first ones here. For the first play. Second play, that's the only play from this game. I feel kind of guilty having 3 plays out of the last game, but, I really like Lamar Jackson's rush yards. I really like Mahomes' rush yards. I really like Rashee Rice as a yard after catch type guy, especially if it's a little rainy. Lamar Jackson's touchdown, Kelsey touchdown. There's a lot of different combinations. That's why when I'm done here, I'm gonna eat, got some leftover panda I'm gonna eat. Try to put some pen to paper, kind of get an idea of what I'm gonna do in particular, because I don't want to be out too many units, but I want to make sure I'm trying to maximize it. How do I feel about Mark Andrews unders? I have him as an over. I don't know. I think it's right. I think Mark Andrews, if he's in, he's gonna be healthy and he's gonna be in to be used, is what I'm thinking. Although I think Isaiah Likely is a really good look, and I can't get over thinking that Isaiah Likely's line is too low just because Andrews is back. The Ravens also like to run a lot of 2 tight end sets, being like a running team that they are. So to have Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely on there is kind of hard. At this point, it's like you're trying to bet on the lesser of 2 evils. Double-sided sword, whatever the heck analogy you want. It's where you have to, decide, is it going to be this person to go off or this person to go off? And you have to decide. Honestly, I think both can. I think both guys can hit their yardage today. Next play. Next game. Going a little Mr. Irrelevant here. Brock Purdy over 275.5 yards. I'll tell you what, this is a really big line, and I'll tell you, he has not hit this. I don't have it in pull up in front of me, but I don't have any stats about how many times he's hit this in a row, or 3 of his last 5, or 80% of the time, or works 70% of the time, or anything like that. Pretty high, little scary, but I've been fading the Lions pass defense for weeks. We faded it both back-to-back games here in the playoffs, and it's worked for us. I had the exact same conversation the other day on Jared Allen. I was going to run it regardless of what the line was, because he's been cashing for us before. This situation's been cashing for us before. We've been against them every week, and we're not going to stop now. Matt Stafford threw for 367 yards against them in the first round of the playoffs. Baker Mayfield threw for 349 yards against them in the most recent game, right? They've given up 700. That's over 700 for you math majors. That might be just 706 if I'm not mistaken on some quick math. 716. That's a lot, guys. Average out to 350. That is 75 yards over the total we have. He has guys like Deebo Samuels and Brandon Ayuk and George Kittle, and McCaffrey catches the ball as well. Juwan Jennings. Is his name Juwan? I think so. Jennings. And The Lions have the second best rush defense in the league in terms of yards given up. And the Lions, like I said, have just been getting torched through the air with the 31st, if I'm not mistaken, worst pass defense in the league. They've been getting killed by number ones. Henceforth, the next play that I have here. But I don't think McCaffrey is going to be overly explosive. Now, what's going to kill this bet is a few things. If the Lions can't keep this close, this bet is toast. It's going to be a negative game script. It's a -7. So if we were on golf yards, it's like perfect. Golf's going to be playing from behind. I'm sure golf's yards is a solid look. I'll certainly have that in a builder for the game. There's a Goff and Purdy to combine over 500 yards, but it's -190. I'm probably going to use that leg as a 2-leg type of builder or something like that, as that seems pretty doable. I don't think they're going to run very well. I think they're going to pass a bunch. Oh, what can hurt it is... What, buddy?
This bet.
All right, I'll go get you in a second. I'm almost done. Yeah. My son. What can hurt it is going to be a long McCaffrey rush touchdown. That's not going to give us any yards. A defensive touchdown that's going to take away an offensive possession for the 49ers, or a special teams touchdown that's going to take away an offensive possession for the 49ers, or obviously like a long 60-yard pass interference or something like that. A lot of things that can go into it, but we got 4 plays running. I'm not going to fade it now. Next play, second play is going to be Ayuk over 76.5 yards. The last 5 wide receiver ones against the Lions here, Mike Evans went for 147 yards. Puka went for 181. So I was obviously in the playoffs. The wide receiver number 1, Evans went for 141. Nakua went for 181. Justin Jefferson went for 192. CeeDee Lamb went for 227. Justin Jefferson again went for 141. In their last 5 games against wide receiver ones, I don't know what that average is, but I bet you it's nearly like 150. We only need, 76? So we need essentially half of the production that everybody else has been getting from out of wide receiver number ones. And not to mention, these other teams don't really have as many weapons as the 49ers do. And that can hurt Ayuk at the same time. But the guys definitely do. If you look at in his last 2 games, he's had 57 yards combined. So if anybody's due to have some success here, it's going to be Ayuk. And then if you look at, going back in the last 10 games, he had 4 games over 100 yards. 156 against Tampa Bay, who give up a lot of yardage to outside receivers. 126 to Seattle, 113 against Baltimore, 114 against Washington. And then he puts up 2 goose eggs, one of which was in the playoffs. But that was a heck of a game. The Packers played some really good defense. They were all over him. If you go back and you look at his home games, before the last 2, he was on a streak of 6, 113, 126, 156, 109, and 148. I guess it was actually 5 out of 6, because this graph that I'm looking at has his line total at 49.5, and boy, that would be amazing, because I would put my whole house on that. So anyhow, with the success that he's had and the struggles that the Lions have had, and to coincide with that play that we have with Purdy, we're going to roll with the Ayuk over 76.5. And then very lastly, to go with the Lions prop, it's going to be Jahmyr Gibbs over 22.5 receiving yards. I do not think the Lions are going to run the ball very much. I don't think the Lions are going to want to run the ball very much. The 49ers, when you talk about the Lions having a good rush defense, the 49ers have the 3rd best rush defense. So they're right behind them. They're just as excellent. They have really good linebackers. They have a great defensive line. If Montgomery and Gibbs can't get going, Montgomery is going to fizzle out, and they're just going to be done with Montgomery. Then it's going to transition into Gibbs, and they're going to want to get this guy the ball, and the way they're going to do it is they're going to do what they call long handoffs, right? The little bubble screen, a little 4 or 5 yard pass that he kind of gets him to the edge, but counts as a pass. Screens, little what's it called? Little Texas route or whatever. And in both playoffs games this year, he's over this in both. So he's got a line at 22.5. He went for 43 and 40 yards in his 2 games so far. as a rookie, obviously, first 2 playoff games here. He went for 43 and 40 yards. The 49ers giving up the 9th most receiving yards to running backs in the league. I think Warner in the middle is going to be busy with my freaking kid. He's always just hurting himself. Warner's going to be busy with Kittle in the middle. And, I mean, it's one of those where Gibbs is going to disappear. Sometimes they have him on the outside, and they run those little quick, like, jailbreak type screens to him. Sawyer, what are you doing? Yeah, what did you do? Oh, I'm about to close it out, and I'll be done, and I'll come protect you. Jeez Louise. Okay, so to recap here. Get back to my notes here. To recap here on Lunchtime in the Lab for January 28th, we finally got some NFL back. After going 2-1 in the NBA, we're going to go with Travis Kelce over 61.5 yards. Brock Purdy over 275.5 passing yards. We'll go with Ayuk over 76.5 receiving yards. And lastly is Jahmyr Gibbs over 22.5 receiving yards. As always, I'm your host, Lunchtime and Live, brought to you every single day. Thanks for listening. Be sure to follow me on all social medias at Live Joe Bets, and in particular on YouTube. Come subscribe to YouTube. I'm going to close it out on the podcast here, see what's going on YouTube, see if anybody had any additional questions on YouTube here that I can answer for them. And I thought I had something else, but that's it. Podcast listeners, I hope we have ourselves a nice little 4-0 recap tomorrow. If not, obviously we'll be back. We'll keep firing, and the podcast is doing pretty good here. Honestly, this is like the longest one that I've had, so I apologize. But hopefully there's a lot of good stuff in there for you. So I'll close it out, and I'll see you guys back tomorrow. Damn, 19 minutes. What the hell? All right, YouTube. There's like 24 people in here still, I think. I don't remember how many subscribers I said I had, but I have 243 right now. So I think some of you guys subscribe, so I certainly appreciate that. JD, I appreciate it, though. Thanks for the interaction. Jason, Lexi. What is that, Joker? Yeah, that's Joker. Nick. You guys, anybody got any questions or anything like that? Questions, comments, or concerns? I have not given any plays in the Discord yet. I need to formulate those plays. Those plays get a little bit more effort. Well, then I got to go down and I try to figure out how many units I'm going to have, try to write it down, everything like that. So I got to start writing stuff down. Figure out what boosts there are, how I want to use them. But we got, what? When's the first game start? 3? Yeah, 3. We got, what is that? 4 hours. 3.5 hours. All right, I'm going to close it out. Appreciate you guys. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. If you're watching on a recorded version, thanks just as much. Like this and, hit the subscribe button as well. And I will see you guys back. See you guys back tomorrow.